want to assure the public that the information that we're about to go over shows the great teamwork that is at play in this state to protect the public health. Here today with me is Solicitor General Ben Aguiaga, Surgeon General Ralph Abraham, and former Congressman Ralph Abraham, Dr. Pete Krogan, the Deputy Secretary. Who is not here is the hundreds of staff members and state employees that support both myself and all of those up here today that have been working tirelessly to ensure that this crisis is contained. Because of their hard work, we're in a good place. We have dodged a bullet this time. We have utilized the justice system to ensure that we can continue to protect the public. What we're dealing with is a form of a drug-resistant tuberculosis. And again, at this time, we have no indication that the public is in any danger. And of course, Doc, we have I think first it's important to talk about the TB program that we have, and Dr. Abraham and Dr. Pete can elaborate a little more about it. But the TB program in Louisiana started in 1958. And at the time, the state had over 1,200 cases of active tuberculosis. Now there are about 100 in 2023, which means that TB team and LDH is doing its job. The TB program has three purposes. It identifies and reports to the federal government. It treats and diagnoses cases of tuberculosis and prevents the spread of the disease, which is exactly what we're going to talk about today and what we're working on. And finally, the TB program conducts contact investigations where a suspected exposure may have occurred, which is exactly what happened in this case. And so again, the information that we're putting out today is informative, and the public should not be concerned. Each region of the state has its own TB team that has its own TB chest clinic located within a parish health unit. So what did happen? Let's go through the timeline. Patient 0 started in China and moved somewhere between China and the United States where there was an illegal border crossing. And if you want details on that, you can go ask the federal government. But the fact of the matter is, patient 0 started in China and made its way through an illegal border crossing and ended up in the United States, where patient 0 was apprehended in California and then sent to a federal facility in Louisiana. From the federal facility, patient 0 was transported to a medical facility. At that medical facility, there was concern that the patient had active tuberculosis. Patient 0 was then released from the medical facility to DHS custody. From there, patient 0 was transported to another federal-run facility and ultimately ended up in another medical facility. A routine TB investigation then occurred. On September 17th, the ICE facility then notified LDH, thus triggering the TB investigation team. At some point, patient 0 was transferred to a medical facility. Since that time, we have been actively working to ensure that the proper healthcare protocols were in place to protect the public.